Myth.
JMYTH has his own lane.
Yeah, we got another legend in the fucking building. Hades.
Let's see what Hades is talking about, man.
Let's see what JMYTH talking about.
What's good, gang?
Yo, what's good?
Logic Pro Global in the building. We got Hades out in Florida. We got Drill Bit out in Denver, Colorado?
Yes, sir.
Live and direct. And we got JMYTH. We got JMYTH out in Cali. What's good, fellas? How you?
What's good? What's good?
Yeah. So I'm back, man. Sorry I missed last week's stream, but I heard it was super, a lot of super sauce being given on the crypto side. You know what I mean? For those,
absolutely, very informative.
For those trying to finesse that bag, you know what I mean? So today, you know, y'all already know the MO. We're gonna do our little 15-minute flex talk. Jump right into part 2 of the crypto segment, and then, as per usual, the end of the stream will be strictly Logic Pro related content, and I believe we're gonna be flipping a sample today, right? And showing these viewers how to get these samples flipped and completely, you know, change up the original sample so the original loop maker doesn't know what it is and he doesn't get paid. I'm just kidding. He gonna get his. But nah, we gonna show y'all how to flip samples. A little bit of sauce from each of us on how we do things. Not too much sauce. We're gonna save that for the Patreon, but give y'all something to work with. After the stream, you can go test it out for yourselves or follow along. But other than that, man, what's the latest on y'all side, man? Anything new? Anything good?
And all is well, you know what I mean? It got profits off of Drill Bit's advice, you know what I'm saying? We moving forward.
That's what's up. We're gonna touch on that for sure. Any bit of money is money that you didn't have before, so that's a blessing.
You're up, what,
Yes,
30-ish%, Myth?
Yes, sir.
Hey, there you go. You can't argue with that.
That's a fact.
I'll take that. I'll take that for sure.
And that's just to start. So imagine if he sticks with it, understands all the fundamentals. Next thing you know, he's gonna start shorting and longing crypto coins and stuff, man. So
yes, sir. Yep.
That's the end game. You know what I mean? But
yes, indeed.
What you got going on your end, bro?
Not much, man. Just staying busy. It's my first week actually having some downtime to get back in the lab and actually start cooking up beats and stuff. First time having a little lull and doing mix work for clients. So I figure I might as well try to get some stuff cooked up and put together a melody pack that I sent out. And hopefully we'll get some people to cook up some fire with that. We'll keep things moving.
That's a fact. Sir. That's a fact. Yeah, I've been away from the board as well, man, for at least 5 days. Just got back from New York on some biz, and placed yes, flex. Yeah. Always got to flex the business at the end of the day. Don't mind my dog in the background. He want to be a part of the stream. Placed an order for a new Mac. Got to invest in the hustle. You know what I mean? But mainly because of Logic Pro Global, I don't want to deal with any more latency with CPU and all that stuff, dealing with OBS, and I don't want to shortchange the template that I use. You know what I mean? So I figured might as well pull the trigger. I've had this computer for God knows how long, so might as well upgrade. You know what I mean?
Yes, indeed.
So hopefully I get that in the next couple of weeks. Be golden, man. I don't think I'll need another computer for another 10 years. You know what I mean? So we'll see what's up.
Big flex.
Right? But the add-on. So the add-on that I was telling y'all about that I wanted to get after I get the computer is this joint right here. Y'all can see the y'all can't see it in Zoom though, right? Yo.
No, I just see it on Twitch though.
Hold it down, son. Yo, hey.
Yes. He's like, that's fire.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Say it with your chest, Dad. I got you. Flex it out, Dad.
Yeah. Flex talk.
Let me see if I could share it as well on the Zoom. but I won't share
the try screen.
Yeah, I don't want to share the sound so it doesn't duplicate. Can y'all hear me still?
Yep.
Yeah, we got you.
Is it still coming through the Zoom?
Yep.
Sound like it.
Okay. So this is the tri-screen 2. Apparently they had a primary version, but I think that had some glitches to it. But ultimately this is what I'm trying to flex with. So this is ideal for the studio setup. Not necessarily for the crib, but like I go to the stew, you know what I mean? I've always been a multi-monitor type of cat, even when I was working in corporate. So I need to be able to move Alchemy on one side, move the channel EQ on the other side, not close them, and then work primarily on the main screen. So the whole setup looks pretty durable. You know what I'm saying? It's mostly plastic.
No, this is definitely a flex.
Yeah, it's mostly plastic, but a lot of magnetic hinges and stuff like that. I mean, you can see how Shorty's just flexing with it on our lab like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just cold chilling. So,
like, you know. And it's super lightweight. You know what I mean? So just an extension to the lab. And this is how it looks when it opens up and all that.
That's dope. I mean, and what's the resolution of the screens? Do they have them?
That's a good question. Yeah, did they even put that there? Instant setup, extremely compact, remarkably light, compatible with OS and Windows. Know something? Compatibility fast. It doesn't give. That's a good question. I think that's one of the things.
It says they had a little something that said what's in the box. A little. If you go up a little bit. One more.
Up a little bit.
There you go.
There.
Yeah.
Two USB degree cables, adapters, extension cables, HDMI cables, and a pass-through charger adapter.
So tech specs. Let's see what that's talking about.
Where you see that?
Up, right above. Yep.
Two 10-inch
display.
Yeah, 1920 to 1200. So yeah, it's higher than 1080.
Okay.
Yeah, full HD LCD IPS panels, 16:10 aspect ratio, 60 hertz refresh rate. Yeah, it's official. It's official monitor.
Yeah.
Official
yes,
monitors.
Sir.
So I think my only concern would be the warranty that comes with it. And like if I have any problems, I could send it back or whatnot. But yeah, this is probably the next and final move. I don't think I need anything else. If I spend any more bread on anything, it'll probably be the Apple headphones, and that would only be for the Dolby Atmos, because I'm hearing it only works with either the Dolby Atmos, the Apple headphones, or the Apple earbuds. So I couldn't even use the Bear Dynamics to utilize the Atmos, which I think is stupid. But you know, Apple is trying to keep everything proprietary at the end of the day, so I can understand that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But that's it. Like, I think I've spent enough money flexing on myself, prove to myself that I could build a little dream studio. Now that I have it, I think I'm over it, and I'm just gonna simplify everything. Like, I'm just gonna take a lot of this stuff out, because the KRKs I don't use. I only use the Sterlings, and I got the little subwoofer for the Sterlings, so I really don't need much. You know what I mean? Really don't need much at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. Yo, give me go back. Give me 1 second. Let me just deal with this character here.
Homie just want to be a part of the show, man. That's all.
Yep. You know what I'm saying? Making his cameo. I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, I ain't mad at it either. I mean, you know, you gotta put on a little show.
Yep.
Let the people. You want to let the people know his piece.
Yep. Like, yeah, I approve this message. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just let it be known. Let's go.
All right. So yeah, man. So that's pretty much us with the Flex Talk, man. Unfortunately, Tech couldn't be here. He had other arrangements he had to deal with, but he'll be around next. He actually said he's going to tap in when he can today. Push comes to shove, he'll be with us next week.
Shout out to Tech.
Shout out to Tech. Shout out to Beatman as well, man. We didn't get to join his stream that happened on Saturday, but it looks like he's having them consistently every Saturday at the same time. So we definitely going to try to tap in for that as well.
Yes, sir. Yeah, shout out to B-Man.
Yeah, big time. That's the OG right there. Triple OG.
Yes,
OG triple.
OG triple.
You know what I mean? So yeah. All right. So next up, we got the crypto segment here, which I'm really looking forward to because Drill did the crypto segment last week, and it looks as though Myth profited something lovely off of it. So we want to see, where he went in, where the profit came from, what he should do with the bread afterwards, and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and change the scene and share the screen so you have access, Drill, and then we can get the goings ons.
Yes, sir.
Sound good.
All right, let me give you control.
Alrighty.
You should have control. I'm gonna let go of the mouse.
Yeah, we're good. We're in there.
All right, good.
Alrighty. So, Myth, just to catch Hades up to speed as well as anybody that was not here last time. Basically, what we discussed last time is that Myth actually bought in back. I think we found out you were at what, 30? Was it like 36, Myth?
Yeah, yes, sir. Right around the middle of January.
Yeah, so right in here is where Myth bought. And so he was last week, was trying to figure out what he wanted to do. I told him to sit on it. Went ahead and sat on it. And if you look from here, obviously we're in the middle of last week where we had our stream. He's gotten additional profits again since then.
Yeah.
What I reached out to you last night, Myth, and was mentioning, we're kind of cracking the top of basically if you're trading off of averages, right? If you're looking off the averages right now, you're kind of getting to the top. It's overcooking itself a little bit right now. Now that can mean one of two things. It can overcook itself like what you see back in an area like this. Oh, hold on here. It's lagging. Give me a second here. I'm trying to control it. It's just lagging a little bit when I'm grabbing from Hades' side. Give me a second. It can mean sometimes if you get to the top here, you'll notice we hit the top, we corrected a little bit, which is possible, which is why I've reached out to you and said that we're probably going to see some type of a correction. Immediately after any of those corrections, though, it usually does one of two things. If you touch this top line, it immediately tries to retest it at a bare minimum the middle line, or it's an indicator that things are about to break out, which is what you could see here previously. An example of the opposite, though, we tested that again here. We tested the top, and look, you crashed, and we tested the bottom again.
Yep.
So that being said, if you go back over here and we look at what we're dealing with now with where we currently are, and this is looking at a 50-day average. So over the last 50 days of trading, basically, we're now trading volume-wise and everything else right now for the overall price right at the top of the 50-day channel. Now, if you wanted to see, like, for example, to give you a little bit more concrete numbers, we can come back out here and we can add, for example, and we know now with the 100-day moving average, so we just doubled that window of time that we're looking at, the number of data points that we're looking at. We are kind of forming that little bit of a corrective curve right now, potentially, because we're getting real close here, even there to the top at 49. Just mathematically speaking, you have more potential if you're just looking short term, like we talked about last week. If you were talking to do a short-term window of trading, I would pull some of my profits right now. If you don't really need the money and we're talking, hey, I had 100 extra bucks from a sale, I've got at least whatever else, I want to put it into the markets, I just want to let it ride, and you really are there to catch a bag, you could sit on this a little bit and just wait and see, because like I said, there's potential here. If we touch that line, we go nuclear.
Right.
Now, if we hit this line, there's also potential that we have essentially a flash crash. So immediately after hitting that line, within within a 24-hour period, it's going to try to retest either the middle line at a minimum or the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking at it that way and you're trying to short on a short-term window, right? You're looking at it right now, you have more potential ups or more potential downside rather than upside, because right now you've got potentially you're going to go from 47 to maybe 50-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And potentially at that point, you're going to see a cooling because it's
Gotcha.
retested the top of the channel. Now, if you really wanted to see like crazy, like if you're really short term,
Go for the 200, huh?
no. So if you're going to go short term rather
Oh,
than
okay.
that longer window, come in here and just do in the last month. So if you're looking in just the last month of trading window wise, we've already hit the top. See, we had the correction here. We broke out of the top, and instead of going nuclear, we corrected back downward, which tells me that right now the market's saying 46, 47. We like it, but it's not as well liked as, for example, down here at, what was this, 41. If you look volume wise, 41 through really 47, like low 47, huge amount of volume. That tells me even at 47 right now, that would be an indicator for me. If I was taking notes, that's an indicator for me looking at this. I might honestly, I might want to sit on it. If I don't need, let's say if let's just to make the numbers easy for anybody watching. If I had $100 from a sale on a beat and I put $100 in and bought $100 worth of Bitcoin where you did, and now let's say I'm sitting on what we'll call it $130, $135. If you want to pull some of that off the table, if you need it for something, or if you've got something that you think is a better play, then I would say go for it. If not, I would let it ride a little bit and give it another couple days, maybe a week or so, and see what happens here. Because one of two things is going to happen. And at the end of the day, like I said, if your overall perspective is not how do I make this bread in 3 or 5 days, but my overall perspective is how do I make big bread in like 6 months, like we talked about last time. And like I said, it boils down to the conversation we had last week. That idea of what I want to do with my money is different for everybody. You told me, yo, what I want to do is kind of have a hands-off somewhat approach. I want to be able to check in every couple of weeks, just see what it's doing. And if I need to do something, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to let it ride. If that's still your mentality and nothing has changed in your financial life, what I would be looking at here is, okay, yeah, we're testing the top of the last, 30-day channel, right? We're testing the last 50 days. We're testing okay, but now let's go out and just see for, shits and giggles. Let's see the last 500-day moving average on this, and let's see where we're at. Oh, okay. All of a sudden, now it's not so big of a deal.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So if you're looking at, say, a year and a half long window, there's a lot of upside still left in the potential. You know what I mean? Potential. We're really at the midpoint right now. We were in a lull. We were in a down cycle this last little bit. And now we're just starting to gain a little bit of momentum. Now, if you look, just because in the last little bit, if you're looking narrow window, right? If you look at these tops right in about where my mouse is right there, that's kind of where the last couple of times we've hit that ceiling, and then interest has gone, that's a little pricey, and selling has happened, which drove the prices down.
Right.
Instead, if you notice where we are right now, we broke through the top of that. Generally, when you have a breakthrough like that, like I said, it means one of two things is happening immediately following. We're going to go up dramatically from here, or more times than not, it really means you're going to go and retest that midpoint. If we're looking even at the midpoint here, if we're talking conservative numbers, we're still a little bit overcooked. But in the grand scheme of things, if we're not looking at, like I said, that short little itty bitty time frame where we're looking at last 3 to 5 months, and we're really comparing it back to where it was, let's say even back in the less than a year ago, we were testing almost 70K.
Crazy.
We're at 40 now. So in that example, you're $130. If you took it right now and you made $30, right? That's not to say you couldn't then roll that money into multiple other investments and maybe make some additional diverse plays. But if your goal is still, I want to be able to set and forget, I want a low risk investment, Bitcoin traditionally is just going to kind of hover here for a little bit. And every year at some point it goes on a bull run.
Yeah.
Some years it's less than others. But I mean, even last year, we tested here, we tested a top, and if we come back, we tested actually last year twice on a top. There's a lot of interest up until this point here, and then you'll notice that every time we've touched basically this 59 to 60, people start to lose interest or there's some kind of catalytic event that causes it to go down. If you're trading off of averages and what's already happened and the information we have here, I would say that you have a lot of potential upside if you're willing to let the money ride longer.
Right.
If you're only looking at the next couple of weeks, we may have a downturn for the next week or so, right? But if you look 2, 3, 4 weeks past that, I think overall we still have a lot of room to retest 50. If we start getting to high 47, like if 47 all of a sudden becomes 49, I would consider, like I said, figuring out like, hey, what's my risk tolerance now? Now that I've got maybe closer to 200, do I want to take 100 off the table?
Right.
And if so, come talk to me when you take the 100 off the table, because if you don't need it for something and you want to put it back into a different play, I can show you some other things, whether it be Ethereum, or if you want to take a little bit higher risk, higher reward situation, I can help you get into coins where you're actually going to have a bigger pool in like the actual coin.
Nice.
So for example, like if we were going to go in and we were going to look at one, for example, that's I think has a lot of potential right now, has a lot of potential to do both things. Obviously, it can go up and down. One thing that I'm personally watching and have been big on since about 90 cents is this. So Matic, for example, let's say you in that situation, you have an extra $100 you pulled off the table. If you wanted to roll $100 back into this, you're going to get almost 100 coin and then the multiple on any kind of the ride. Right now, for example, we're sitting here at $1.60, $1.70. It's tested just in the last 6 months. It's come up here and tested 260 a couple of times.
Oh, wow.
In a situation like that, we're talking, you know, you're doubling your money essentially on that other $100, while your other 100 then you would just park in Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's still working itself. So
it's still working itself, and now
Yeah.
you've got that other avenue. Now let's say you got another $100. Now what are we going to do with that 100 while leaving the original 100? And we'll start to build it out over time. But so what I would do right now, if we're just looking at your Bitcoin investment, like I said, it's 100% on you, but you have to ask yourself, do I want to ride this a little bit longer and see if we're going to retest high, like the all-time highs, and try that 50,000 again range and see if I can ride this? I want to squeeze the lemon a little bit harder and see if I can get, like I was in at 35, 36. I've ridden it to 46, 47. Do I want to ride that to 49, 50, or do I want to pull some now? Whenever you feel that that's the time. And then the way that I would go about doing how much you want to take off, if I were you in your situation, given what we found out last week and how you went about buying the Bitcoin, I would, when you go to sell, I would sell 100% of your position, unless you find out that there's a way to move it from where it's currently at to, say, your Coinbase wallet. Once you get that set up, if they'll let you do a direct send of it, then please do. But otherwise, I would just sell it and take your profits, and then we'll take your 130, 150, whatever you pull when you go to pull it
to a whole nother coin.
We'll go, when we go over to Coinbase's side and we set you up with your wallet and everything there, I'll show you, like, let's diversify it. So let's say at that point we have 180 to $200, right? Let's take you, and instead of having it all just in Bitcoin, we'll take a majority of your position and we'll put it in Bitcoin where it's safe. And then from there, we're going to take, you know, that other $80 or whatever, and we're going to see if we can't turn the 80 into 160 for you.
Got you. And that can go, it can go into Matic or Ethereum or...
Yeah, so there's a couple of, so there's obviously a few different smaller type coins that I think still have a lot of potential. I don't know here if it's going to let me, let's see here. Yeah, it's going to. Another one that if you want to do some research on that I think has some quite a bit of room to pop, I would bet, and maybe people will call me crazy on the internet, I would bet, based on the research that I've done, as well as if they can actually deliver on the deliverables that this company is claiming they're going to do, this within the next year and a half will be 300 to 350 a coin.
Let's go. Okay.
I don't make, like I said, if you want to go play those, if you want to go play what I call slot plays with lunch money, where it's like, I have $60. I'm going to try to make $1 million off of 60. Go play that game on Reddit. I'm not here to hold that bullshit.
Right.
If you want to actually do long-term investing where you're actually growing a fucking bag instead of playing these super risky moves and things like that, I think if you put some money into this, you sit on this for, like I said, 6 months to a year, you're going to be very happy with the return on this. The other thing here.
Hey, you was on point the week before last.
If y'all would have hit me up when I bought it, like I bought some more, I should say. I've been buying this for a minute. But I bought an additional position the other day when I checked my indicators, and I was like, oh yeah, what was it? I think like Myth, was it $58 or $60 or something like that? It was like low 60s.
Yeah, it went up, and then it went up 15%, and then it went up another 24 after that, or something like that.
Yeah, now we're at
Isn't that
96.
crazy?
Now it's at $96 a coin for the same coin.
Crazy.
And you'll see here, if you're looking at this one, though we're in that higher quartile, they're even showing here, if you're looking at the last 500-day average, we still have more room to go to 114 on this. So it's still potentially a buy. If we wanted to see shorter term though, like just as far as our stats here, let's pull it back to just what I like to look at as a general indicator of a 50-day. We're at the top of the 50, but that's just because we're getting a surge. Like as you saw in Bitcoin, every one of these altcoins that I'm showing you is going to follow Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin moves, these move. They're not going to contrary Bitcoin very often. So if Bitcoin goes up, usually within a couple hours, this is all going to spike as well.
Gotcha.
The difference is Bitcoin, for example, in a day might be up 1 or 2%. If Bitcoin has a day where it's high and it's at 3 or 5% up for the day, these are going to surge and be up 8 to 10%.
Gotcha.
So you're going to catch a higher surge just because, as you can see, not a lot of people have 50 grand sitting around to get a big chunk of a Bitcoin. A lot of people have $90 in their wallet that they're willing to wager on something if it's going to potentially go up. Mm-hmm. You'll notice that we get the same surge almost around the exact same day that Bitcoin started to trend up. This all started to trend up. What this does, though, is it actually solves a problem on the Ethereum network. So where you hear people talk about gas fees and how expensive transactions are and how clogged the network is, they're actually coming in and providing a solution through alt chains and things like that to clear up some of that congestion, as well as offer the end user, whether it be for crypto gaming, whether it be for peer-to-peer transactions, things like that. They're going in and they're basically improving the transaction time as well as the cost to the end user, all while decluttering basically that logjam that happens on the Ethereum network. Mm-hmm. So that's one that I think has some serious upside. As you can see back here, was up to 128 at one point. So it ran pretty heavy. This was a play that I had last year that I've been riding for a while. So as you can see, I'm still happy with my positions.
Yeah, because it's been going up constantly.
I still think that, like I said, I still fully believe that if you're patient, it's not going to be overnight where you just wake up one day and now all of a sudden it's worth $300. I would bet though, like I said, within the next year to a year and a half, that will eventually be where this creeps up to close to. I may be $50 or $60 short, but you'll see high 100s, low 200s on this all day, every day at some point again here in the near future. So like that's one that I might look at.
So in essence, hypothetically, like say if I take I take the profit of what I did with Bitcoin and I put it into Avalanche, into AVAX.
Right.
And I just wanted to just play the, like you said, like a year, the year game, you know what I'm saying? Wait a year, sit on it. This is looking like it would be a good move.
So let me show you. There's one other one that you
It just went up. It just went up just now. That's crazy.
So another one that you may take a peek at. And like I said, you don't have to always make these moves right now in the minute. You can always look and see like, where are we right now? And what do I think it's going to do? Maybe I want to wait a day or two and see. If you play the wait and
because if Bitcoin is basically going to go down pretty much, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to test where it is now, most likely. So if it goes down, then AVAX would go down as well, right?
Right. Now, if it hits that top point that we were talking about and it inflects up, now all of a sudden AVAX is going to have another 10 to 30% run like we saw a week and a half ago.
Got you.
So you saw over the last week, we had about a 20%, or I don't know, probably a little less than 20%. I think it was about 8-9% run in Bitcoin overall over the last week and a half. Mm-hmm. With that, what you'll see now is if you go back and look on this, you had close to a 30% run. So it's riskier because now that same thing happens. If Bitcoin goes the other way, it triples your losses because it's now that you're going to be taking an 8 to a 12% loss if it does slide. So you're risking a little bit more. But if you believe in the technology and you're not just YOLOing your money into altcoins that you heard about on Reddit and you're actually doing research on what these companies do, you have companies like, oh, this is not the right thing. Hold on. Solana. There we go. There's two different folks. If you're looking at charts for Solana, I do this all the time in every friggin' charting software, not just Yahoo. There's Solana, the technology company that actually does crypto and all that stuff. And then there's Solana, the energy company that does like solar panels. Make sure you have the right charts, kids, before you make informed decisions, because sometimes their prices are close to the same.
And it'll say it on the right that it says cryptocurrency.
Yeah. CC Coin Market Cap is where it's pulling this information from. Make sure that's the source you're getting. And then if you come in here on the charts on this one, Myth, so this right here is something that's kind of cool. So not only is this a company that's going to be big crypto space wise, and they've done really well over the last year, this is a company that not only are they big and heavy in crypto, they actually got the green light from companies like Visa and MasterCard, as well as PayPal over the course of the last year. And what they do is they actually can run, basically, think about how many transactions, how many times somebody swipes their card at any given minute for a bank, right? What their company has the ability to do is they go in and collect all that data, and they can process those transactions like 3 to 5 times faster than any other person on the market, and do so with a high efficiency rate. And they do so by clearing those transactions to be verified as proof through blockchain. So using that same technology, they've now been able to implement that for things such as large blockchain transactions. So if there's a huge cluster of transactions on the Ethereum network, they actually can come in and help that transaction through. And instead of having to verify me, you, and Hades, they now can verify what that, like if the current system was the 3 of us, they now could do 15 of us in that same amount of time.
Got you.
As this starts to come into play again, you'll start to see this run. They're in a down cycle right now because all the hype and all of that news about the Visa and the MasterCard partnership and everything that popped off, which drove the prices here. People collected profits, and then crypto slid over the last few months. So it's still, even though you're at the top of this channel, keep in mind that we're only like a month or so out from this being worth almost $300.
Got you. And that's like in a month. You said a month, about 4 weeks.
So let's see. It was back on. I can get you the exact date here. Hold on. Let me see. It's lagging a little bit on my end. Let's see. Let's see. I got to scroll down a little bit more if it'll let me. There we go. So this was back in November.
Gotcha.
It was testing a high. So if we were to go back to a high, hypothetically, if you just retested the all-time high for Solana and you bought in right now, you would buy in with, say, that $100 that you had of like profit. Let's say if you doubled your money off your Bitcoin play here, let's say you pulled that extra $100 and rolled it into something like this. That same $100 in a few months has the potential to be worth $300. The odds of you doing that consistently in Bitcoin, because of how small of a piece of the pie you actually buy, is way harder. And Bitcoin doesn't have those massive swings.
Gotcha.
So I put the way that I do it, and we can talk about this on a later stream. I don't want to get too far into the weeds on this one, just for the sake of everybody at home that's here for beats and that kind of stuff. But I'll help you as we start to diversify out, show you how to percentage off the total value of your portfolio so that you're diversified across these assets. Obviously, if you have an asset, like I said, that could downtrend or uptrend on any given day by 8 to 10%, you want to have more money stashed away in something like Bitcoin that's only going to have a swing of, say, 1 to 2% on most days.
Gotcha. So it's a little bit more stable.
Yeah, you protect the majority of the bag while sending a little piece of it out there to go and potentially bring you back 30 or 40%.
Nice. Got you. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So Solana, got AVAX. Okay.
So there's a couple little side plays for some folks.
Sauce.
And then obviously still Ethereum is a solid play too, depending on if you're into that kind of stuff.
What's your thoughts on Cardano?
I wouldn't give you $5 for Cardano, but I know people that love it. So okay. I mean, shit, let's look.
Because I know its lowest point in the past few months has been like 80 cents. So that would have been the best time to buy in.
Let's take a look. That's what I figured. Let's see. Top of the 50-day chain. It had a decent run the last 50, just in the last week it had a decent pump.
Yeah. I think its lowest point was what, 69? Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere down here. Yeah, 69.
Yeah, I remember I bought into Cardano, the beginning of last year at $1.12. When that thing pumped to like $2 and some change, I was hyped. I was like, you know what? Let me cash out now. Get this bread out of here. I think I put like 5 bands.
That's the
Flex.
thing. You can't get greedy in crypto.
Yeah, you
Don't get greedy.
Yeah, take the
You
money.
gotta
and
take the
run.
profits.
Yeah,
So the thing is like I'll let my profits ride in something like Bitcoin, knowing that, hey, like the worst case scenario, I'm going to lose 30% or whatever the face value is that I have in there at any given time.
yeah.
If I'm comfortable with that going into it, it doesn't bother me. I don't sweat it when the market slides.
Right.
The money I know I'm going to need for my bills and shit, that's in a whole different account. I don't play with that money in crypto.
Right.
But that being said, if you get into things like this, like what he was saying, like I bought it and then it literally doubled in value. Just because it doubled in value does not mean it's going to double in value again. And I see so many first-time investors, they fumble their first-time bag because they sit on it and they don't realize that, like, hey, when the sharks when they get their bellies full on all that food and they're nice and they're plump, they start to sell and they collect the profits, right? And what that does is it drives that the overall price is going to drive down. And so if you're still sitting there like, oh, it's going to double again, you just fucked yourself out of money.
Get in, get out.
But technically, if let's just say the price doubled, right? So you put in 1,000, the price doubled, you got $2,000 in now. Ideally, you want to take the profit of 1,000, but now what happens when that 1,000 that's left over, you already took your original investment out, right? That 1,000 that's left over, that coin dips back down to what it was originally. Technically, you're back to where you started, right? No, I'm asking.
I mean, I had an extra $1,000. So if I took 1,000, like I had 1,000, invested it, I took my money out, and I now have 2,000, right? I had 1,000 still in the coin and 1,000 extra, and I put that other 1,000 somewhere else. That other 1,000 still there. Now, in order to get that 1,000, you have to sell a portion of the original position. So yes, when you're selling that original position, you can't guarantee you're ever going to get the same price again.
Yeah.
However, you're guaranteeing that you're locking in whatever percentage of that other 1,000 is available at that exact moment. So you're basically saying, hey, I want this other $1,000 in profits in your scenario. And in order to do that, I'm giving up the price that I originally got on this coin, and I'm giving it back to the market essentially in exchange for the money. So I'm taking fiat currency, the cash, for that. Now, if you're going to then go buy back in, yeah, you can buy back in that same day, the following day, whatever you want to as far as that. But you're going to need to try to buy back in either at a low or buy back in with half your original position in the coin, just at $1,000 worth of whatever the face value would be at that time.
Gotcha.
So you're pulling 2,000 out, putting 1,000 back, keeping 1,000 to put somewhere else potentially, or you're in that case you're pulling out the 2,000, or just a half of that original $1,000, say.
So it's a better move. It's a better move to pull out the full profit.
Not always. Sometimes I'll just do like if I know something like this is why I don't want to get too far into this today, because this could be an hour-long conversation.
Yeah.
But when you get into like breaking down your portfolio, I don't have on my portfolio, if I look at it right now, for example, I don't have a single position that's over 20%. Meaning that if I've got 25 grand in my account, I don't have a single position that's over 25% of that overall piece of the pie. Right. And really, I have one position that's like 20, 25, and every other one's 10 or 15. And by doing that, I don't ever have to sell a full position out. Like I don't have to wipe my balance, right? I don't have to go back to 0 coin on my wallet. If I've got 10 and it's doubled in value, I'll sell 5 coin at double the price, take my profits, and now I have half the position, but it's still at my original price. So if it skyrockets, I still make money on my original bag, plus I secured the profit. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah, no, absolutely. That's pretty much the move that I just made. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, so it's like it's really dependent. If you're in a situation like you are, Myth, like where it's like, hey, my money's tied up on a platform where I really don't have the ability to send it somewhere else to another wallet where I can do these trades, then I would, in your case, I would just wait till it gets to whatever you want to pull as profit for your first trade, pull it out and profit. When you get the Coinbase wallet set up, do the deposit of like your initial like $100 plus whatever that amount was, and then you can just go back in and buy then. I don't
Oh,
know
okay,
where
got
you
you.
bought it, if it's going to allow you to send it, for example, in cryptocurrency over to Coinbase. Just because I know you mentioned last time you weren't sure if it would allow you to send it or if they only gave you the option. I thought you said to buy or sell, right?
Yeah.
You don't have the option to send crypto?
Yeah, I think they have it. I mean, they asked for a wallet, like if I wanted to connect my wallet to it.
Oh,
so
okay.
I believe I might be able to do that once I get everything set up. On,
If that's the case, I would just transfer it over to Coinbase so you can just keep tracking it at the original, like basically just send you over the direct coin, and I would just sit on the coin like that, and that way you can just continue to trade it from that wallet if you wanted to.
Got you. And then I have access to all the other coins and everything.
Yeah,
All right, cool.
then you'll actually be able to buy AVAX and some of these other things that aren't available on the platform you're currently using.
Got you.
So, yo, Drew,
I think that does it on my side, unless y'all have questions.
Yeah, I got a question. So the three lines that I'm looking at, the three lines that I'm looking at, the yellow. No, you just took them off though.
Yeah, I was going to show you how to add them. Go ahead though with your question.
So those three lines, do each of those lines represent a support or resistance? Or...
Yeah, exactly. So essentially what it is it's giving you the midpoint, the high, and the low for a given period of time. So if I say I want it over 50, like a 50-day average or a 100-day period, so it takes then 100 days worth of information, and it's giving you calculative information to show you statistically, like if you look at like a bell curve, right? It's giving you essentially the midpoint of what's most popular, and then you have your outskirts. So if you're looking at your data, so let me see. Here. So for our period here, if we were to wanted to say, like, if we want to see the last 30 days, we'd say a 30-day period. We wanted to leave it on simple and for a moving average, because what it's doing is it's taking within 2 standard deviations, meaning that it's going to have a plus or minus of 2, like basically 2 basis points. And then if you look here, your moving average, just leave that all alone. And then when you hit save, it's going to apply the chart here based on the period that you provided. If you just want to see solid moving average, so like, for example, you'll notice, let me add another indicator here so you can see just the moving average. So over that same, let's see here, what did I do in the other one? I did 30, so let's do a 30-day average. And this one's going to do close and simple with 0 offset. It'll be a blue line indicated. So now if we come in here and we start looking, yeah, they're so close you can't even hardly see the difference. But so essentially what you're seeing here, this midpoint is going to be the dead center point of the moving average. If you were to add the moving average, that's why if you notice, they literally track on top of each other. That's why it's hard to see the line I added.
Yeah.
It tracks down the center point here. Now, what by doing this other type of metric and looking at it, it's giving you the absolute low, the absolute mid, and the absolute high point that it's hit within the period I've given. So it's giving you statistically in the last 30 days, what you're looking at right here, just so you can make sense of it. In the last 30 days, statistically, it's most likely that this midpoint is what the actual price is going to be kind of fluctuating off of. Now it can be higher or lower, as we both know. So it's letting you know that, hey, the lowest that it's probably going to go and still have support is down here. The highest it's going to go before it starts to lose that support is about here. It really is happy somewhere here in the middle. So that tells me as a buyer, if I'm looking at this chart, if I'm down here, one of 2 things is happening. The world's falling apart and this is really shit in the bed hard. And I need to know, do I want to get into this mess? Or it tells me, hey, this is really oversold and now's a great time to buy. When I sent the message out on both AVAX and I sent the message out on Bitcoin that Myth bought on back in January, both of those things that when I send out those messages is because I noticed that we had gone through the bottom of this and there was no bad news or any actual reason for it other than the fact that the markets were selling off. Mm-hmm. If that's the case, I know that if I'm willing to just put in what I could, like what we just talked about, I can put in money and park it for 3 to 6 months. If I'm confident in 3 to 6 months that little bloop is going to go back the other direction and trend back into this little channel, and more than likely that middle point is what it's going to try to touch at least at a bare minimum, That's a buying indicator for me. If we're looking at like up here, for example, where we're out of the channel, if there's not news saying that, oh my gosh, this is now going to replace Bitcoin and this is the greatest thing ever and it's from a reputable source, that tells me that there's been hype, we overbought, and then more than likely what's going to happen is we start to correct downward again. And what you can't really tell in this view until we zoom out a little bit, we're still, even though we're here, it did a couple of times, it's already tried to correct back down and it's regained strength. This right here is an indicator where it's done this multiple top thing. It's hitting a top and it's basically getting smacked back down each time. It's tested it again immediately, which means there's a lot of interest in this little pocket of money right through here. However, there hasn't been enough interest to continually drive the price,
So that's
which means we're losing volume.
That's where resistance comes in.
Yep, and we're losing volume is what this tells me if I'm just looking at the kind of the squiggles here. But if I wanted proof of that, I can actually look right below and our graph's going to show that. People are still buying right here, right? There's still people putting money in, right? There's more people buying than selling. However, look at the overall volume. And when I say overall volume, you can just look at the height of this stick.
Yeah.
So if I'm looking at the height of this stick versus the height of this stick, right? A hell of a lot more people were willing to buy at 1.13 than there were that were buying when it was up at 1.18. That slight difference in price, there was a huge swift change in like buyer sentiment. And what happened is every time it's tried to break through that, it immediately has fallen by like, 3 to 5%. And then it retries 3 to 5%. Though we're still overall trending up. I would actually, if I'm looking for informational sake, this was my last accurate data point. Something happened here. We blew out of our channel and now it's just fucking speculative hype and we haven't corrected yet, in my opinion. What could happen here is this could try to retest overall back to these different things. And so what I would do is I go, okay, if it was going to run to an all-time high or a recent high, what would, in a situation for Cardano, what would be a pitch, what would be something that last time it really ran, what stopped it?
Yeah.
What was the bull in a China shop that stopped it? When it took off like an angry bull and ran, what grabbed a hold of it by the horns and went, not today, motherfucker, and it switched that flow? That tells me this spike right here. So at an absolute crazy best, if it does like what we talked about earlier, it hits 2 or 3 times and then goes cataclysmic up, it's going to run to $1.59 is what I can see here, and it's going to hit a massive point of resistance.
Gotcha.
If you blow through this top here, your next one that I'm looking at is going to be this guy here at 227 is going to be your next point where you're really going to have a hard time pushing through and you're going to get a lot of selling pressure. If you go through both of those, the sky's the limit. You're going to retest all-time highs. I would put money on it. If you go through 2 of those hard resistance points like that within a short window of time, it's off to the races, and it's usually going to be bamming. With Cardano, it's statistically not that common that it does this. If you look, it's very kind of docile most of the time, and it'll take a little run, docile, big run, huge crash. If you didn't get out at the top of this crash or at the top of this run here, and you missed out on your little shell, like it tried to regain some strength here at around 218 is what I can see here. And people gave up for whatever reason, whatever the sentiment at this time was, people shit the bed on it. And it's never rebounded since. So that's a situation like we were talking about, Myth, when you get into these lower cap things like Cardano, if you've got profit, take that shit. Because it's not guaranteed. That shit could go away in the blink of an eye.
It's a fact.
And then it could take you, let's say you did that and you sat, because right here it was doubling every day. Oh my God, you're telling your grandma and everybody how great you are at crypto. And then all of a sudden you get to this point, right? And you could have sold out there at almost triple your money. And now you're all of a sudden you're down literally lower than where you bought in and you've still not back. And that was back, a year and a half ago. You're looking silly. Right. So it's like, don't like on your Bitcoin position right now, realistically, there's a lot of positive upside that could potentially happen with Bitcoin over the next, 3 to 6 months. In a situation like you are, if you can move that over to your Coinbase wallet, just direct, I'd move it over in kind. And then when we start getting to that point where, like we talked about last week, you're at a 50% or higher gain, let's start talking about how we can grab some of that profit, and we can kind of dig further into how much of it and how to calculate how much of the position I want to sell to take my profit and all that.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yo, I already see that the crypto segment is gonna be probably one of the bigger segments for LPG, because simply showing y'all how to take your beat selling money and finessing it into a bigger bag. And
Facts.
you know, I don't think anyone can get tired of listening and watching how to, you know, flip a bag. You know what I'm saying? And flip it properly.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So this is
All this shit's free too. So that's the other thing.
That's my
this is literally just yahoo.com.
That's my
Hey, if you know how to set all this stuff up, it's there.
That's my last question. So why do you veer towards Yahoo's chart versus like a Trading View? What separates this from Trading View in your opinion?
It's charting for dummies, and I'm not. So a day trader, for example, somebody who's a true day trader, they are leaving at the end of their day. When they clock out for their trading session, there's no money on the table left, right? Everything's in their pocket. Nothing's still in the market. If you're a true day trader, if you are really, truly day trading and doing those types of trades, Trading View works great. Go do that, pay for the membership, get the live charting, get all that. So you got real-time data. This, for the type of trading I do, works fine. And I think that it's Trading View for dummies. So if you don't know how to do all the fancy, crazy charting, which I do, for work, I used to play in Trading View for work. So it's like, I know my way around Trading View very well. But for the sake of example, for somebody who's just a novice beginner, y'all just watch me set this up from scratch. And like, I can do it again just in 30 seconds here, just to show you, like, if I wanted to make educated decisions. So let's say that I was doing research, I was online, and some kid on Reddit tells me that, hey, Shiba Inu is now like the thing. Like, now is the time to buy SHIB, right? And y'all laugh at SHIB. I made 10 grand off SHIB.
Nice.
Oh, flex talk. Let's
Flex.
go.
So it's a joke. It's a fucking joke, but it's real money. It's real money. Don't front on the fact that it's real money.
Facts. Flex on them.
So if, let's say you're on there and somebody's like, now's the time, it's going to run back to this all-time high. Now's the time to get in. If I open up Yahoo and I type in this is all I'm going to get, right? As my general thing. You can come over here to indicators, and you've got all kinds of stuff in the commonly used that's going to be somewhat helpful to you. One of the things that you can see here, these are all very, very common things that people will trade off of. I personally like to use moving averages. I like to then also know from that, I like to be able to just kind of compile all of this kind of information into one output. Bollinger Bands is the one I tend to use. That's the one that I just had that builds the channel. If you click on any of these, it's going to ask for some additional information. Very similar to Trading View. Almost anything you want to look at as far as crazier, like things that you wanted to see, you can get into some of these more technical stuff. As far as a beginner trader, most of these commonly used ones are all you would ever want to be able to see at any given time. That also goes for stocks. So you can use the same technique for stock trading. One thing here that I'll do is, like, I'll come in and, let's say, for example, if I just want to see a moving average, I can come in here, drop a moving average. And let's say if I wanted to see the 100-day moving average, 100-day, keep everything here. Let's make the color here so it really jumps off the chart at us. A different color just for the sake. Now I have something here that's real simple, right? That's easier on the eye. I know based off of that we just crossed our 100-day average, which is usually an indicator that, yeah, there could be potentially a run here.
Yeah.
You'll also notice, though, that most of the time when we break out of like that and it starts to really run, if you miss the initial run, there's always a cool off. The last time we had a cool off was right in this area, and now we're crossing that average again. To be 100% honest, if you're just looking at this looks like it could be a potential. So what I would do in a situation like that, I would just come back in, do indicator, Bollinger Band. And now let's say I wanted a little bit shorter time play. I just wanted to see in the last 30 days how much momentum it's grown. I can pull this, and now all of a sudden I can see in the last 30 days, it really hadn't had as much momentum, anything crazy as we thought it did.
You really think SHIB was gonna pump again?
Nah, I wouldn't put any money into it if it was me. If you really want to play lotto style investment and you want to do those short, like, swing trades, like where it's I'm buying on a Monday, selling on a Wednesday, buying on a Tuesday, and like riding it that way,
yeah,
I would do it with a small portion of your bag and be diligent on watching charts. But if I'm being honest with you, when the last basic major trading platform passed on them, that was the last pump. The reason you had this pump here is because Coinbase listed. That's what this first pump. And then everybody's like, oh my gosh, Robinhood and all these other places are going to list it. And then they did. And then so you got like Kraken and places like that listed. You topped out. And the second that they listed, people like myself who were smart and knew that this had no utilitarian purpose, no actual value or anything, it was literally just a meme that got blown up on the internet. And the second that all, for lack of better words, I hate to use this term, then the moron investors, the people that were just following the Reddit tips and everything like that didn't know what they were buying, they were buying up here on this way up. Like some of them, they'll tell you they made money. Most of them sat on the bag thinking that this parabolic curve was going to never end. And they fell into that trap we talked about. Most people that at one point were on a $5,000 or $6,000 bag in Sheeb, they lost the bag. And what happened was it was quick. It was like almost overnight. You went all the way back down to here. So if you bought anywhere up here in this little cooling period thinking it was going to shelf again, you've lost your ass and you've continued to lose your ass. So like for me, if I'm in a position and it dips 50%, I'm asking myself the second it hits a 50% loss, is this coming back or am I pulling my chips off the table? At some point, I mean, you play poker, Hades, you know, like if I get dealt a shit hand, sometimes it's smarter to just not play that round. It's smarter to take the little loss and slide my cards than try to big dog my way into a situation that I don't have the tools or capability to get out of. So in a situation like that, I followed the news and I was watching it from the eyes of, so what's going to happen? Like, what do we use this for? Once it's on all these trading platforms, what is it actually used for? Like, we know what you can use Bitcoin for. We know what you use Ethereum for. We know what you use, like, now that I've explained, like Solana and things like that, they have a purpose. What's the purpose of Shiba? Go to their website and read. It will literally tell you on the website. This has zero purpose and is a joke. We're working on creating a purpose for it. That's not an investment. So like the second that I had, like, that's one of those situations, the second that it had ran and I knew the last squeeze of that orange was there, the second that I saw a heading that said Kraken is posting tomorrow, it's going to be live for trading for their traders, and the hype train came and it went parabolic, I threw my money out of it, pulled everything out except for I still own like 2 million Sheeb, I think, just in the event that the joke with Sheeb, in case you guys didn't know it, was that at some point it was going to try to run to $1, and everybody in our generation that bought $1 million worth of it, which back when we were talking $1 million back here was like $5 or $6, right? And you could have got 1 million or 2 million Sheeb or whatever, and then it ran crazy, and those people that bought in there, their $5 became like, you know, $1,500 pretty fucking quick, and the people that were goofy and threw in, you know, $1,000 back here, all of a sudden we're buying new cars. So
crazy.
Now, like, with that being said, would I put money into it today? No, I wouldn't add more to my position. I kept 2 million Sheeb as a joke for the meme's sake, just to keep the meme alive. And like, I have my $2 million, just for reference, my 2 million Sheeb is like $36 US. It's not, it's change. But in the event that motherfucker ever does run to anything crazy,
you still got something in there.
I'll still cash out on a little bit of money.
Listen, when we do our dog wars, these motherfuckers will be playing for 2 million Sheep, all right? That sounds like a lot.
I can come up with that. Shit, fuck it. Well, let's make it 10.
You know what I mean? 10 million Sheep. Let's get it.
Let's get it. You know what I mean?
All right, I'm all cryptoed out. I can't do crypto anymore, boys. You got to think. I do this for work too, so it's like I'm cryptoed out.
You know,
I'm tapping out on crypto for the day.
That was
I hope you took some gems away. Somebody go out there and do your math, do your homework, figure out if you want to throw a little bread in, come back, drop it in the comments if you do. Let us know if you make some profits. Happy to try to give a little bit of guidance along the way. Obviously, it's all up to you at the end of the day, what you do with your money. But I got to wrap the crypto section. I think we should get on to the people who are here for the beats, and I want to hear Myth flip a sample.
That's a fact.
Yeah, man. No, this is some valuable gems as always.
That's a fact. So keep in mind, y'all, that these segments are pretty rare, but drill, once we get into a more routine rhythm, drill is gonna give y'all like very quick, brief. This is what the charts are looking like. Blah 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 blah. If you put money here, you're good, and you made this amount of money, and then boom, we keeping it pushing. You know what I mean? But for the sake of this part 2 segment, we needed the insight. We needed to see how we could flip JMYTH's profits I have my series of questions as well. I got a gazillion and one questions right now, but I'm gonna hold off on those for future segments. But Drill, you could hear the passion in Drill's voice when he's explaining everything about cryptocurrency. So we got the best man, you know.
I mean, Drill, I didn't take no L's taking Drill's advice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I profited.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
Drill the man.
So that was a good look, Drill. Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Not financial advice, financial suggestions.
Correct.
Exactly.
Yeah. So don't be idiots. Do your own homework. Do your own research. You know, replicate what we're doing as far as messing with the charts and adding the different indicators, etc. I know I am, because I was gonna start with TradingView to do my long and shorts, but I think I'm gonna start with the chart for dummies and with Yahoo. Also, and eToro has a free play money section, a virtual portfolio that you can use. I think they do crypto as well. If you wanted to play around with charts and play money and experiment with buying and selling and all that other good stuff, I know eToro has a virtual portfolio that you can use. I think they start you off with $100,000 of virtual money where you can actually buy into certain cryptocurrencies, buy, sell, buy, do whatever you want. Gotta get your feet wet and replicate anything that we're discussing in the channel. But like Drill said, we are not financial advisors. You do all this stuff at your own risk. Now, Drill knows what he's doing on his end for his portfolio. You need to do the same.
Yeah, and you guys don't get the text message like the gang does at midnight when I'm up looking at charts going, hey, now's the time. Jump in.
Pull the trigger. Let's get it.
Exactly. But we appreciate the sauce, Drill. Look forward to many more as the weeks move on. So without further ado, we're going to move on to the final segment of the stream, which is what everybody's been waiting for, which is the cook up segment. And for this segment, we're going to be working on flipping samples and how you can flip samples. So we're each going to give our 2 cents on how we can flip a sample, and hopefully you guys take something away from it. So let me switch the screen here to the cook up screen, and then we're going to go ahead and JMyth is going to share his screen. So go ahead and share your screen, man.
All right.
Where my water at? Blood.
You sound mad hood just now. Where my water at?
Yeah, man. Always keep at least 2 bottles of water here. All right, while you're getting the connection set up, just make sure you have the share sound and high fidelity enabled.
Yep,
I'm just
gonna I'm
gonna go grab a bottle right quick.
Cool. All right, so we flip the samples. This is actually, I could let y'all hear that, but I'm not going to right now. Let's just go with some, what do we got here? Okay, we got some soulful shop samples. Let's see what we got here.
Make sure your audio is shared in the DAW too for Zoom.
Yep, yeah, I'll put it on there.
Okay.
I'll put it on there early.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's what we doing? Okay, baby making music. I hear you.
You know.
Oh, I like that. I like this one right here. That's fire.
Yeah. We heard that.
Oh my goodness. This man done went the Teddy Pendergrass, Curtis Mayfield route. You're not playing.
Now this one, I believe this one's already chopped. So if I just want to, if I just wanted to cook up something quick, I wouldn't even have to, I wouldn't even have to change anything. But for the sake of flipping a sample,
yeah, we
show
want
you just different options you got.
Yeah, that's a fact. I don't think think you're sharing your screen, man. Are you?
Yeah, he is. I can see it.
How don't I see it? So I gotta be the special one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is dope. Okay.
We're not even gonna ask you where you got that from, but it's fire. It's fire. I got Rick Ross. I got Rick Ross written all over it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, and I may, you know, who knows? I may go a totally different direction with the flip. You know what I mean?
So
I mean, I could loop it, but I'm just chopping. I'm just chopping certain areas that catch my ear that I can manipulate later.
So right now, is it on tempo, or we still gotta set the tempo?
No, it's not on tempo, but they have it, you know, at 144. That's their chop. But
Okay.
nah, I'm not setting it to tempo because I just want a little bit more freedom of how I chop it.
Got you.
This one was already, you know, pre-chopped pretty much. Like you can make something with this pre-chop, you know, if you wanted to. But I'm just, you know, just trying something different, see what happens. Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? This can go a lot of different directions.
When you're making your cuts, like you're selecting like those little sections like that, what are you looking for? Like, what are you listening for?
Just a couple of different things, something that I know that are like deliberate notes, or just has something that stands out as a chop.
I noticed it looked like you were cutting a lot of the snare transient.
That too, yeah. Like the kick and snare transient is always good. You know, that's just good to have, you know, because it's already going to be pretty much laid out for you. Cool, we got that.
Man, Meth doing a ditty right now. He took a game. He took at least 8 bars, easy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I could have kept searching, but I know pretty much that's all that was on there. I was pretty much going to be duplicating the chops, which is sometimes it's pretty cool if you know what you're doing, because you can tune those chops at a different key if you want to really flip it.
Now, do you use the flex pitch at all?
Sometimes, like if I want to drag something directly into the DAW, directly into the session. Yeah. You know, sometimes I'll do that.
But for the Suicidal Love, the original loop was completely off tempo. Like,
oh yeah,
the average tempo I think was like 164, but going across the guitar rip, the guitar melody, it would fluctuate from 164, and then it would slow down to like 150 something, and then 140, and then back up. So I had to use the flex pitch and then move the transients over to sit on every bar, you know, or every beat in order for it to sound the way it did.
Yeah, no, see, you actually took the route, you know, that's tedious. You know what I'm saying? To make sure everything was like super precise. It just depends because sometimes I do that. Like I said, like if I just chop the sample directly in the DAW,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Like I'll definitely take that route.
Yeah.
But in some case, like in this case, just trying, just did a couple of chops, and now I can manipulate what I want to do with it. So like for instance. So cool.
So right now everything is assigned to your keyboard.
Yep, I'm on the controller now.
Okay. You about to put Just Blaze to shame right now.
Shout out to Just Blaze. It's a legend. It's a whole legend.
Yeah, he goated.
Yes, sir. You know what? Let's, we can make it even. We can get interesting with it. Let's see.
Oh, I see you, Flex. I see the flex. I see that.
Well, what? You see nothing? You didn't see nothing, man?
I see that flex.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, that's right. I gotta be.
Your controller, does it have pads on it as well?
Not this one.
Okay. It's not for nothing. For cats like us who come from the MPC days, it's technically we have our own little MPC if we have those pads.
Yep. Okay, now it's getting interesting. Let's see what we got. Let's get that out of there. Boom. Cool.
it already has a natural swing to it, so you ain't even gotta swing it.
Right. Yeah. That's just automatic. You know, as a drummer, it's like it's on autopilot for me. Good quantize it. This is low key gonna be hard. Hold on.
You know, if you just hit, if you just hit Q on the region, it'll automatically quantize it for you, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I usually do that sometimes.
Okay.
But you know, like on my bass lines, I usually keep live.
Yeah.
On live bass lines, 808s, you know, then I'll go in.
Yeah. Man caught a vibe in less than 15 minutes. Jesus, friend.
We just, you know what I mean? We just gonna see, you know, let the music speak for itself.
Savage.
Oh, there it is. Got a mad Bryson Tiller kind of vibe.
Yeah, I like it. It's coming along. I like it. It's a vibe.
Yeah, it's a vibe for sure. Am I tripping or using stacks now?
What's that?
So am I tripping or are you using stacks now?
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? I had that in the holster, you know what I'm saying? I was just watching, I was just seeing, I see where your sauce was. You know what I'm saying? Seeing where the sauce was real quick.
I see you, Brody. I see you.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You know, a little track stack action, you know what I'm saying?
Little razzle dazzle.
Yeah, a little razzle dazzle. Nothing too fancy, not too flashy, just a little sauce, you know what I mean?
This joint gonna be a banger. Myth gonna make me skip poker tonight just to cook up now.
Sauce alert.
Preach it.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Little vibes. So now we got basically got the core of the beat down. You know what I'm saying? We got the idea down. So now it's all editing.
Yeah. It's all uphill from there. It's all downhill
Yes,
from there.
sir.
That joint hard. I'm noticing you use a lot of plugins, my boy. I didn't think you were using that many plugins. You got a lot. You got a gang of plugins on your strips, which explains why everything sounds so clean.
You know who uses more plugins than me?
Oh,
you.
Oh. You know what? That may be true, but I mean, I have mine's bust, right? So it would be the equivalent, yeah, pretty much.
Sure.
Just the dynamics, man. The way that the open hats are to the right, the other hats to the left. Oh, flex time. Flex time. Gospel. Sermon on the Mound. This is the theme music for when you coming into church Sunday morning, still tipsy off the night before, but you gotta hear the gospel. You gotta hear the word.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, you gotta balance.
You gotta balance it. That's a fact. That's that theme music right there. What is that phased suitcase?
Huh?
Is that a stock strip for Logic?
Yeah. Yep. Oh. Yep. It's in the warped
warped pianos.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Electric pianos, yeah.
Yeah. I have to flex that right there.
That boy is good.
let that bitch breathe. Let the drum come back there hard.
Yep,
That
yep.
bitch
You already know the
breathe.
breakdown's coming. You gotta do it.
That shit going nuts.
This nigga just to let that bitch breathe.
Gotta let that sample breathe. That shit just it was too ready for it.
This nigga crazy. Hold up. BBB Brighton is not is that a stock strip or it look?
No, that's off.
That's
That's off of free synth.
Okay.
One of my
Good
favorite
flex.
synths.
That's a good flex right there. Major flexing by Myth tonight. Major flex.
I'm just trying to catch a vibe.
I still need to cop this.
Oh yeah, this is it. It's super convenient.
You
It's
can
dope.
you can have my copy because I haven't used it in probably a year and some change. Yo, when you're done with this, I got a question for you.
So hard.
All right, what's the question?
So in arcade, there's a way to assign all the keys to like have the sound chromatically run across the sound controller, and it's a setting in arcade. Are you familiar with it?
You talking about like every key, like instead of just the major keys?
Yeah. So instead of just the keys that hooked pack has, let's just say there's one particular sound from the hook pack that I want. I heard there's a way to chromatically have that sound run through the left side all the way to the top right side of the
Got you, like the
keyboard.
sample itself.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
You familiar with that?
They have some pretty cool settings. I was gonna go into them, but this it's so good. I found what I want so quickly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, all right, cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna do research on it because I definitely need that if I even start using arcade again. But if I can't find it, we might have to do a segment just on that because
yes, sir.
that's fire. Just to have it all in one shot, kind of like a one shot, just going all the way across the board.
So, well, we got, you know what I'm saying? Let's see what we got. I like it. That's a good start. You know what I'm saying? That's a good start.
I remember when I asked you, like, how quickly can you make a beat? You said on average, maybe like an hour, hour and a half. You made this in like 30 minutes, maybe less. I want to say.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. If I just want to cook up something, but it varies.
Mhm.
Sometimes the vibe just comes quickly. Like like thankfully this vibe just came easy. It's like, oh, okay, we already got something.
Yeah,
We just kept building.
Yeah, that's a dope way to chop
Mhm.
though. I've never used sampler to chop really. I usually use quick sampler.
Mhm.
I was actually gonna show you too. You still sharing your screen? No, I think you start to share. Share your screen real quick.
Yeah.
And then if you can, you already saved the project, right?
No, let me save it.
Hold up, you did all this and you hadn't saved it once?
No.
That's Logic Pro Global for you because
No,
we
but
don't- we
Logic,
don't-
yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Logic automatically, it automatically saves.
and it don't crash.
Yeah, you don't have any of that FL crash shit.
Yeah, you don't got
Right.
none of that.
Facts.
Yo, I seen cats on FL get anxiety just from like working on a project for an hour and some change and not save it, the whole thing crash on them. Get nothing back.
Yeah, well, that's the other folks over there.
Yes, sir.
Well,
Right.
chili peppers for their logo.
There you go.
They don't call them Fruity Loops for nothing.
Facts.
Facts.
Facts. All right, so when it's done saving, do me a favor and bounce out. Was it instrument?
Oh, you want to see that? You want to see that sauce? The bounce out the sample? Because I could go in.
Oh no, I was
Really
I was,
start flipping it.
I was shit. If you got more, show more. I was gonna show the MIDI transform thing that I do with chopping the samples.
Oh, okay, bet.
Yeah. So you could just bounce one region. That should be enough.
Mhm.
All right, and then we're gonna throw a quick sampler on there.
Oh, wait, I'm tripping.
Do you know if you just click and drag on the file and hover over like where your mouse just was, you could have done the same thing in one click?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? And it's crazy because I usually do that from the from the little region over here.
It's just forced to have it.
Dragging me. Yep.
All right, so yeah, let's drag that up into the optimized. Yeah. I don't have my preset, so I gotta see if I remember which one it was. Go to slice, not classic. Go to slice. Let me see. All right. Change transient to, I think it's beat. Beat divisions, yeah. Change the sensitivity to 1. I'm sorry, not sensitive, the division. That slider. Yeah, change it to 1. It's to the right. One more. Left. Left. One more. Wait a minute, where is 1?
That's what I'm saying. We got half, we got 4, 3.
4, I think
2.
it's the one you're thinking of for 4, wouldn't it be? Because it's just cutting once every 4 bars.
Nah, there should be a 1. 3, 2. There it is.
There it is. There.
Okay, boom. I bet. So now click hit solo that strip and hit play. Let me see something. No, not that strip, the one with the play. No, nothing yet. Okay. So at the top right corner, you see that wheel?
Mm-hmm.
Click on that. And then click on where the blood is it? Copy MIDI pattern. Okay. So now bring the locator, that bar, the yellow bar, bring it to 9 on the grid. No, on the transport window behind the sampler.
Oh, okay. You bring what to 9?
Yeah, bring the yellow bar to 9. Yeah.
Your actual playhead.
I'm on.
Yeah, the playhead.
Okay.
That's
I'm on 9.
the word
Right?
I was looking for. Yeah. The playhead isn't on 9 though. The playhead is like by 11. There you go. Yeah. And then right click a free space on instrument 95 and add a MIDI region. Or actually, if you hit Command V, it should put what we just copied in there. So just hit Command V.
All right.
Or Apple V. Yeah. Okay. So now play it. Let me see something. All right.
Oh no, you just already opened up a can of worms.
So, all right, hold up. So now.
Oh no, this is about to go stupid. I don't even want to know no more. You got to say nothing else. I already know what I want to do now. No, you just opened up a bag. Oh, this is about to go stupid. So that means if I could do that, that means.
Yo, this thing got me drooling.
Hold on. Watch this. If I could do that, hold on.
Got him literally going stupid. He dribbled out himself.
No, I know what you're trying to do. Not that one. The third one.
Okay, gotcha.
It's the right envelope. That's on. Yep.
Yes, sir. Oh, this is about to be dumb. All right, now watch this. Oh no.
Said,
Okay. You know what I mean? Okay. Now, never mind. I'll say that for another segment. I'll tell you where y'all lie.
Now,
Because we can really go stupid.
we
Like, this
really
is-
can.
all right.
And I'm just gonna point you in that direction only so when you get off the stream, you have something to play with. You see on the left here where it says LFO1, LFO2. All right, look below. You see that slider at the bottom? You can set an amount. You can set the via and the target. So if you, let's say you put the amount to, let's say 50%, right? No,
Crazy.
yeah.
Already, this is about to go stupid.
Okay, yeah, right there's good. Go to via. Now here you can select what you want it to affect, right? So I think I tried.
I knew it.
I tried
This is
pitch
about
bends.
to go dumb.
So go to pitch bend, right?
And
And then target. And then you can target to whatever you want. You can do glide time, pitch, just for the sake of messing around. Go to flex speed. Right? Now play the track and then move this and then move the slider.
Gotcha.
You can hear it in the background, the bending.
Yep.
So it's similar to sampler in that
check
way.
this out. Got you. Oh, dog, this is superior. This is, man.
Hold on, let me hit the flex button.
Oh,
Hold on.
no. Hey, no. You flexing. You flexing right now. You done showed me a whole new can of worms, brother.
And I know you're gonna show me because that side of quick sampler, I play around with it once in a blue, but there's so much power in it that I don't even know where to start. So I know if you start tinkering with it, I'll be able to pick up more from you than I would from myself. But the last thing I'm gonna show you, right? So you got all the quick sampler stuff. We got the region, right? So for now, let's close quick sampler.
Wait, hold on, just real quick. I just want to try something. Hold on.
So you're like a kid in a candy store.
Right. Yeah. All right. That's all I wanted to know. All right. It's over. It's over. This is stupid. All right. So what? So I was all right. So where do we go now? This is stupid.
Oh my god. All right. So yeah, go ahead. Close the window right quick. All right.
Yeah,
So
it's about to get too saucy.
So that's the first thing I'll do with the sample, right? Second thing I'll do is I'll double click the region, right? So go ahead and double click the region. And you guys already know you can move, you can change the whole layout, right? And just change the pattern. But I'll do that second. Now, if I get stuck and I just can't find anything and I need inspiration, I'll highlight it all. So hit Command A. And then
I think they're already highlighted.
Okay, and then go to function on the left. Go to MIDI transform.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, now this is
and then go to random pitch.
okay, cool.
Right. So now we need to see where these notes start and where they end. So scroll down on the piano roll. I think it's at like C3, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's at
C1.
No.
C1.
Is it?
Isn't it? Yeah, the very, very bottom sample's on C1.
Move. Okay, so C1 and then scroll up. And the last one is on, what is that?
33.
G.
Is that a G? I can't have my glasses on. It looks like a G.
Looks like it.
Okay. So in the MIDI transform where it says C1 and C5, you're gonna put what was it?
G3.
Was it G3?
C1 to G3.
Yes, C1 to G3. Or you just type it in.
Oh yeah, nah, this is about to go down. All right.
And then hit operate only. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Now, if you scroll down, it scatters all the notes, randomizing it. So now if you play it, and then what I'll do is I'll keep hitting operate until I hear something in that randomization that I like. And then I'll just cut that region and move it to the side, and then I'll do it again, and I'll do it again until I feel like I have.
Oh, that's sauce, bro.
Until
that's
I have
major sauce.
Until I feel like I have at least 2 8 unique bars that I can transition into to kind of give the beat a little
sections.
bit more. Yeah, give it more dynamics.
Oh, that's major sauce.
That's super hard.
I gave
that's major sauce. No, that's major. Now, oh man, okay. Now I want to mess with this. Hold on. Check this out.
If it's killing me right now.
I did not expect this.
It's not like some little Uzi Vert type shit.
Yeah, right? That's a whole nother beat right there.
Exactly. It's about to be the second half of the beat is about to be a battle beat.
Not for nothing, we might have to splice this portion out of the stream.
Low key, super sauce. Super sauce.
I know what Miss doing as soon as we get offline.
Oh yeah, for sure. ugly.
It's about to go
Ugly.
dark.
It's like Wizard of Oz if you did a lot of acid.
Yeah.
If Dorothy ate the wrong apple.
That's Dorothy thoughting on a Saturday night.
sounds like a twisted dream.
Yeah, right.
So I don't think we're in this anymore. Getting ratchet, getting dark.
Oh, this is about to go stupid.
You changing the snare on that region won't affect the previous regions?
No.
How was that?
Not because it's just a different region. I mean, it would change the sound, but it wouldn't change the sound overall. It's just for that region.
How is that even possible?
Because I haven't bounced it to audio yet.
Ah, gotcha.
It'll change the sample, but you can change the pitch and everything on the key.
Gotcha,
As long as it's in that one region.
Gotcha.
But it's still playing the same sample as before, just a different pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
808's about to become autistic.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sounds like Flatbush Zombies. That bass.
Yeah.
You opened up a whole new can of worms with this sauce.
Here it comes. Wow, disrespectful. Ignorant.
No, now it's ignorant.
Ignorant.
Oh, this is.
I'm gonna enjoy splicing this stream. Super hard.
You went stupid. You went stupid with the sauce right here, brother.
I know you're gonna take this thing and run with it.
Oh yeah, no, it's about to get real experimental.
This makes you.
You know what I'm saying? No, you get the copyright, you know what I mean? I gotta give a shout out to Hades. That sauce really just shows the superiority of the superior dog.
Just share the knowledge, brother.
Yes, sir.
That's all.
Yes, indeed.
What's crazy is once you start fusing this with the automation, right?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly where I'm going with it right now.
You fuse the automation with that, it's a dub. Now there's a way. I gotta figure out how I did it. Maybe I have it in my notes, but there's a way because I noticed you use a lot of the fade tool to do your slowdowns and all that stuff. There's a way to just have it there by default to where you don't even have to go up to the inspector to enable it. You just go right to the region and drag it over. I got to figure out how I set that up in my template.
Yeah, no, I did it. I actually did it before. It was on. It's already set up on my old.
Do you want to know how I do it? Yeah. So if you go at the top, you see where you have like the index pointer thing at the top. Go to the one over next, not that one, the next one over. Go to that one and go to your fade tool. And now when you do your alt click, it's a fade already. You can just drag your fade directly with the your. Let me see. I believe it's maybe it's a command click.
No, but there's actually a way to have the region have the fade by by default.
Yeah, you just hover. Yeah, you just
Yeah,
hover.
you just hover
like,
over it.
over there.
and drag it over. I have it set in my template.
Gotcha.
I have it set in my template. I just don't remember how I enabled it. So I got to check.
It just
my
allows
notes.
you. The way I did it, just basically it gives you like an alt click, so you can just alt click, and when you drag over now, it draws in the fade. And then if you left click on the fade, you can go to the slow down option right there in the type of fade.
Yeah.
See, slow down.
Yep.
You already have it checked.
Yep, dope. That's dope. No, man, this is like that's enough sauce. That's definitely enough sauce. For
I think we.
Good God.
Today was a good day for folks. To
Oh
tune
yeah,
in.
it was a very sauce heavy day.
Yeah. So for the viewers out there, you know, the team is gonna, you know, we're gonna have a confab at the end of the stream to decide if we're gonna splice out a lot of the content that y'all saw today, because there was a little too much sauce. I didn't expect that reaction from Myth, but if Myth reacting like a kid in the candy store, that means it might be a little too much. But we'll see. We might just leave it in there, but you'll find out soon.
Yeah, if y'all seen this episode, y'all got some gems for sure.
Facts.
It was gems all the way from flipping crypto to flipping samples.
Big facts. So we got our flex talk covered. We got our crypto covered. We got a awesome logic session covered today. I didn't even know it was gonna be that awesome, but it came out pretty good. Myth banged out a joint in less than 30 minutes and went dark. Went 7:30 on that ass right after we showed him the sampler flex. So it was definitely a good stream today, man. So next week we're probably gonna do the same thing. We might do the pass the baton next week because Drill blessed us with a brand new pack, which I'm looking forward to opening up. I haven't opened it up yet because I don't plan on starting to cook until tomorrow. I'm cooking all day tomorrow. I might go live tomorrow too. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he has in the pack. We'll probably do another pass the baton segment next week.
Sir.
You know what I mean? But either way, you already know Logic Pro Global is gonna have, you know, all the content, a variety of content and segments for y'all to check out. You know, never a dull moment on our end. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I want to thank y'all for tuning in on behalf of J Myth, Drill Bit, and myself. Appreciate y'all for tuning into the stream, and we'll see y'all next week.
Salute.
Easy.
Adios.